Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dani. I'm a Peace Corps volunteer in Mongolia, cohort M29, and today I will be finally showing you my apartment. I shot this video a couple of months ago, so a few things have changed, but I will walk you through the entire video and hopefully I will be able to answer some of your questions about what it means to live in an apartment in Mongolia. So yes, if you come to Mongolia, you will not only have the chance to live in a ger, but probably also an apartment. And there's a third type of home called a wooden house. Like I always say, leave comments down below if you want to know something else, or you can go to my Instagram or my blog, send me a message, and I can always answer any of your questions. Let's watch this video. Hello everyone, today I will be giving you a tour of my apartment. I have to admit that although it's a little bit old, it's very big compared to many other people. I am very lucky. Not to mention that I live in a pretty nice IMAX center, as you will soon see, and have an amazing view. Alright, so I live on a third floor. Usually our apartments tend to have two doors because of the cold. And here we are. This is my home. I have pretty much two rooms. They will call it, can be actually 4 rooms depending on how you want to look at it, but Mongolians might look at it as 4 rooms. This is my bedroom. Pretty big. It came with the bed and the wardrobe and 2 little night tables. Let me show you first my view. I love it. It's one of my favorite. This is Bulgan Mountain in Arkhangai. I have a balcony which I don't use. It's kind of old and dirty, but during winter and because I've been having issues with my electricity, I sometimes keep my food in here. That's my meat. So update, my electricity has been fixed. What happened is that, like I said, the building is kind of old. So the wiring, it's a little bit old and was not being able to handle everything. I'm used to plugging into the wall when it comes to electronics. It's not a ton. I honestly have only 3 different plugs in my entire home. But when you plug in your water heater, your washer, and your oven, then it's a disaster. So they did change the wires for something that can handle better electricity loads, but at the same time I have to be careful to make sure I know what I plug in and I continue unplugging different electronics, especially the bigger ones. Okay, so this is our Peace Corps issued sleeping bag. I sleep in it, it's so nice. My pillow, as I've told you before, and I decorated my room on my own. I brought, and I would recommend that if you have space, to bring like an inflatable mattress. It was really good for training. As I said, Mongolians tend to sleep on very hard surfaces. So I would definitely recommend maybe bringing with you a couple of things that can help your place become more you, or try to get them sent on your care package. Even though I recommend not relying a lot on care packages because they do get lost. I'm gonna be on my 3rd one. Hopefully this one doesn't get lost. The first one arrived, the second one didn't. It was during Christmas. It was a very big gift. But anyways, as I said, I loved my inflatable mattress. I was able to roll it as a yoga mat, and it helped me a lot during training because, as I've mentioned in previous videos, Mongolians are not used to sleeping on very comfortable beds, at least in the countryside. Personally, during my training, my family slept in the living room on the floor and they gave me a couch. So I put that on the couch and it felt so much better. So if you can bring an inflatable mattress, if you are very uncomfortable in like different beds or stuff like that, I would definitely recommend. It doesn't take a lot of space. So just think about it. I'm a Subwarden, which means that if there's an emergency, people come to my house and, you know, we figure it out. So that's what Peace Corps gives us. There's radios and a lot of emergency stuff that we might need. I'm a Subwarden in Mongolia. What that means is that in case of any emergency, natural disaster, evacuation event, there is somebody in each of the provinces that has to kind of get everybody together and host people in case of an event. That's issued for anybody that lives in an apartment. It's our air filter. You can see how dirty it is. I always keep my windows closed, but the smoke somehow makes it way in. Mongolians are not very used to full body mirrors. You will see mirrors a lot in schools, but not full body. And sometimes the bathrooms have really small mirrors, even in some hotels, local hotels. I do think that's one of the things I miss the most about America, is being able to, well, now I can, but being able to look at yourself in a full-length mirror. During PST, it was a little chaotic. There are a lot of mirrors at school, but obviously you and I end up looking a little bit more presentable before you get to school. That mirror cost me 50,000 tugriks, which is $20. So it is rather expensive. Let me show you my bathroom. I'm very lucky. I have a rather modern toilet and definitely modern washer. Not everybody that lives in apartments have washers or modern washers. Sometimes gear dwellers get washers. So the type of washers you see a lot in the countryside in Mongolia are not like the one I have. Mine is more European American and I love it. It does have an issue where water comes out of it and it's not a full load, but it gets my clothes clean. And that's something I also realized I miss during PST, like being able to just throw your clothes in the washer and be done with it instead of having to dedicate an entire day to washing your stuff, especially pants. That can be very difficult. So I love my washer, and like I said, I'm more privileged in the sense that washers here are very old-fashioned. They have two different compartments. You put your clothes, you throw in water, you let it shake a little bit, then you have to take out the clothes, put it in the separate compartment, roll it around so it takes the water out a little bit, throw away the water on your own, then put in new water, wash it a little bit more so the soap gets out of your clothes, go back into the other compartment, like roll it around so it dries up. It's definitely, it makes your job easier than if you wash by hand, but it does take a long time. And the most important thing of all, water heater. Everybody in apartments, I believe, have water heaters, but not all of them work. So some people actually still take tampon baths in their apartments and they have to heat up water. I did that the other day when my electricity went away. As for the water heater, my school put it for me before I arrived, and I'm very lucky. All I have to do is plug it into the wall, and within 10 minutes I have hot water for about 15-20 minutes. Some apartments do have hot water, but only during certain hours. Some apartments or some Peace Corps volunteers do not even have a water heater, so they still do, like I said, tampon baths where they get hot water so they don't have to freeze to death during the winter. Once again, I'm one of the Peace Corps volunteers that is very lucky, so don't rely on my experience on things you should expect from Mongolia. So actually, it's not common for electricity to go away unless it's the summer, and not for a very long time. If you live in a zone, maybe. Mine has never been off for more than 12 hours, so I always keep prepared. That's why I also recommend the headlamp. Once again, my awesome view. Fridge are not 100% required for apartment dwellers, but I'm lucky enough to have one. My regional manager asked for one, and sometimes they do ask for agencies to give some to their Peace Corps volunteers. It's a little bit old. It came the day before I arrived, but it does the job. So actually, Peace Corps do require for in-country agencies to get refrigerators to Peace Corps volunteers that live in an apartment. What happens is that we get a list of things that Peace Corps wants in our homes or in our gears or wooden houses. Having a refrigerator is not on that list, but it is like an unspoken rule that we should have one. Mine didn't arrive until the day before I moved in, and it was because my counterpart showed me pictures of my apartment the day before I moved in, and I realized I didn't have a refrigerator. So I asked my manager to talk to him about it, and she ended up doing it. So I have a little old refrigerator. It doesn't have compartments, but it does its job, so I'm very lucky. I've been using this gas stove because of the electricity issue. That's a Peace Corps issue, one for emergencies. Only if you're a Subwarden, they allowed me to use it. This oven doesn't work, but I do have a one stove or top, I guess, like Jacqueline. I keep things very to a minimum, only 2 cups, 2 glasses, 2 plates, 2 forks. I bought here pretty much in the kitchen, I bought everything. The kitchen didn't come with anything, so I bought my rice cooker, and the oven was actually given to me by an M27. Condiments were given to me as well. Water boiler, very useful. When you move into your site, to your apartment, your gear, your home, you will be given a moving in allowance. I have to admit, I pretty much spend, I would say, 3/4 of my allowance just buying things for my kitchen. Some of the kitchen appliances are very expensive, so I kept it simple. Fortunately, sometimes you get hand downs from previous cohorts. Was lucky to get the oven because my oven in my apartment doesn't work. As you could see, I have only like a hot plate, so I can only make food for one person really, and that's why pretty much I keep things to a minimum, just the basics. So just be aware that sometimes you might have to spend most of your moving in allowance into stuff that obviously you can't take back home, and most of the time you probably will have hand downs from previous cohorts, and that makes a huge difference. And Peace Corps issued water filter, which works, let me see if I can show you, with a candle. But you have to clean mine, it's soon to be clean. Well, compared to Jacqueline, obviously my water will not freeze in my water filter, so I do use it all the time. I keep it filled up all the time. Lately, I haven't been brushing my teeth with that water. I've been fine. But I do use it for cooking, for drinking water, obviously. And it's very convenient, very easy to maintain, to clean. And Peace Corps provides candles during different times of the year if you request for one. Now to the living room. Like many other parts of my house, I have to admit I have a very nice view. Let me show you. That's a kindergarten right there. You can see how we keep warm during winter. Unfortunately, still with cold, but I'm warm. So yeah, it's hard to believe that this whole apartment is warm right now. We're like at minus 25 degrees. The heater in my apartment, heaters get turned on, I think around October, the second week of October, and should be turned off mid-May. I don't know yet. Everything in Mongolia, it's powered by coal. So if you look through the window, if you go back, you can see the chimney where the coal heating company operates. We have a few around town, but that's how Mongolians keep their home warm when it comes to apartments. Obviously, as you saw in Jacqueline's video, if you're in a ger, it will be through your own stove. Okay, everything in here I got came with the apartment. My couch, everything. I decorated a little bit. And my desk, which I usually don't use. I don't like it. But that's why they have this table. God, I get unlimited Wi-Fi for a very good price. So like for the third time, very lucky. I get to have unlimited internet. The situation with internet in Mongolia is not as complicated as maybe we thought, but the problems is more with connectivity. So I'm lucky I have unlimited internet, very good reception with my phone, very good speed in more in the outside, the countryside. You may still get internet. It's called ger internet. It's pretty much like a SIM card or like data. You pay for internet and then you use it as you go. That one, obviously, it's a little bit more expensive, sometimes a lot more expensive, but the possibility of you finding internet is not that low. But you do need a Mongolian that's willing to help you go through all the process of getting internet. The initial payment might be more expensive because you have to buy all the devices, but after that it can be a little bit less expensive. In my case, I only paid 21,000 tugrik, which is about $7. For unlimited internet, it's pretty good. I know for some Ger dwellers, they might have to pay up to 500,000 tugriks, which is over $200. So yeah, the difference is definitely in price, but at least you'll be able to communicate with people. Maybe not stream Netflix shows, but you will have the opportunity to get either internet through Gear internet or data on your phone. Okay, so as some of you may have read already, you should always keep candy ready for your visitors and tea or coffee. This is the coffee you will find here in Mongolia. And this is what I get from home. Because I don't have a French press. I'm not much of a coffee person, but that makes the job. In Mongolia, you should be ready to welcome guests, unexpected guests, with candy and tea. So on top of my refrigerator, I always keep candy and always water ready in my boiler to boil so I can give tea or coffee. Once again, I'm lucky. I don't get a lot of unexpected guests. My teachers are very aware of American culture. They've had volunteers in the previous years, so they always call me ahead of time if they're coming. So be aware that in your situation it might be different. One thing that you can bring with you to give to nationals is candy from your region or the candy you like the most. I did that. I brought some candy, gave it to my host family, and saved some more candy to keep in my bowl. Now I don't have anything from America anymore. It should be coming in my care package, but that's a possibility. So I guess what I wanted to show you through these videos is that the Peace Corps Mongolia experience is all very different, even within Ger dwellers or apartment dwellers. So I want to say it once again, I'm very lucky. I have an apartment. It's a big apartment in a really nice city with a really nice school, but not everybody's going to be able to experience what I'm experiencing. Mongolia is definitely a beautiful country. People are really warm, but the living situation will be different. Some schools have had volunteers for many years, so they know how to work with volunteers very easily. Some other schools are brand new, so you might have a little bit more challenges. But the good thing is that as Peace Corps volunteers, we have created a good family, a good support network, so we're always there for each other. Even Peace Corps staff can be very helpful. So you sign up for the Peace Corps experience, you should be ready to come into the unexpected, into the unknown, and be ready for those up and down situations that we all get here, at least in Mongolia. As Peace Corps would like to put it, bring your resiliency hat on. But definitely, if you're ready for the unexpected, you're going to have a really awesome experience in Mongolia. Because to be honest, you're not going to know where you're going to be until 3 days before you go to your permanent site. Even the staff of Peace Corps Mongolia will not know where to put you until I think less than a month before you go to permanent site. So just be aware there's going to be some challenges, but if you are coming with that mentality, you will definitely have a good experience. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to me. I can try to answer them, or I can put you in contact with other volunteers. And hopefully you enjoyed the video. And don't forget to subscribe, or at least give some likes to the videos, and share if you know of any other Peace Corps volunteer coming to Mongolia. I hope this was fun, and see you next time.